State your name.
Yeah, hi, I'm Jason Peasley. I'm the Executive Director of the Yampa Valley Housing Authority. I wanted to talk a little bit about the soils report and a couple things. There's been, I think, quite a bit of conversation about what the information says in the soils report, how we utilize that information. I want to just kind of talk a little bit about the timeline. Getting that information was something that we absolutely paid for. Did test holes in the fall of 2023, got that information in 2024. Important information if you're going to start developing a site. The exchange that City Manager Leeson and Councilor McGinley had, I think is a really good example of why this information was not presented to my board, why it wasn't presented to the community. It's a question of kind of timing. When is that information appropriate for decision making? I didn't think it was important for us to be talking about how much premium we might have to pay for soils if we, as a community, didn't decide we wanted to annex the land. So that was my decision. Was it the right decision? It's for you guys to decide. I think that at that time it was absolutely the right decision for us to be focused on the conversation at hand, which was, are we going to grow as a community? To me, that was the focus. So as we get the soils and report information, we utilize that by bringing it to our development team. We have a ton of experts, professional engineers on our development team, former heads of the Urban Land Institute, folks that really understand the details of how we develop housing. The cost will be what the cost will be at Brown Ranch. It doesn't matter if it's the soils, if it's the utilities, if it's the water. The only way we're going to make that happen from an affordable standpoint is to be able to bring in subsidy. We have a $24 million head start by having the land donated. But the questions that are coming up about soils, about whatever the other next thing that you mentioned, Brian, is all really good conversations to be had at the DST level. If there's questions about the soils and what they mean, let's bring in Brian Len. And let's bring in Ryan Spoustat and the folks that have worked on that, the professionals, and get some answers about it. And I think that they're the DST are the folks that are asking the questions. And I think it would be great for the city and the housing authority to collaborate, bring in those experts and answer some of those questions. If those are fundamental questions that are needed to be answered, to be able to say, yeah, I think we should grow in the area that we've said for the past 30 years we're going to grow in, then let's get those questions answered. And I think the DST is a great place for that. So I hope that answers a little bit of my thinking about releasing it, not releasing that information, and also about how we can move forward from this and utilize the information that we do have in a useful way.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.